Hello and welcome to this video, which is a second part of a lesson on scraper earth moving operations. The video covers the shown four learning objectives. In the first part of this lesson, we learned about the different scraper types and the scraper typical production cycle. We also learned about the process of calculating the scraper cycle time and production rate. So we will build on what we learned before to see how to design scraper operations in terms of deciding on the number of scrapers and other supporting activities like dozers, graders, and water trucks. Similar to most construction operations, the main planning objective here is to minimize the unit cost of the operation. We can calculate the operation unit cost by dividing the crew hourly cost over its hourly production rate. Let's go over a simplified example of designing a scraper operation. The operation involves a pusher loaded system that includes scrapers, a push tractor, and possibly a grader. The operation design options were limited to 4 scenarios, which shown in this table. These scenarios are different by changing the number of scrapers and also the expected rolling resistance RR equivalent grade by utilizing a grader equipment. The first scenario utilizes 6 scrapers and doesn't involve using a grader, so the rolling resistance equivalent grade is 4%. The second scenario is similar but utilizes 5 scrapers. The third scenario also utilizes 5 scrapers, but its rolling resistance is reduced by using a grader. The highest expected production is achieved by implementing the first scenario. The example also provides the hourly cost for every equipment type. We will compare between the different scenarios and their best based on the cost performance or the unit cost. We'll go through the calculations of this example using the shown table. The production rate is already given for us, but you would be fine calculating them on your own if you were given all the scraper cycle information. We first calculate the cost of scrapers based on their number in each scenario and their unit cost. We then consider the push tractor cost, which is the same for all scenarios. The loss cost to include is for the scraper, which is used for grader, which is used in only the third and the fourth scenarios with 3% rolling resistance. We add up these 3 equipment costs to get the crew costs and divide it by the hourly projects the hourly cost so divided by the hourly production to get the unit cost. If we decide not to use the scraper and consider only scenarios 1 and 2 using 5 scrapers, it results in less unit cost. If we decide to use the scrapers, the graders, and reduce the rolling resistance in scenarios 1 and 2, it would be better economical to use 5 trucks, not 4. In general, it's better to not bring a grader and use 5 scrapers. The final topic we will cover in this lesson is safety during scraper operations. Similar to other equipment operators are more safe from falling off their equipment by buckling their seat belt. Also, blind spots are a concern around scrapers, which can lead to serious injuries and fatalities by being struck or caught between equipment. Also, safety can be a controlling factor for the way the scraper cuts the soil. We have a cross section of an embankment that needs to be excavated by scrapers. There are two possible ways here. In the left side, the scraper follows the embankment shape in cutting and loading the soil. In the right side, the scraper cuts the middle of the embankment first. From safety perspective, the right side is the recommended way of scraper cutting the embankment to reduce the risk of falling from the embankment cutting edge. It's better to avoid having the scraper tilted on a steep embankment side. That was the second video of the scrapers lesson. Thanks for watching, and see you in another lesson video on construction operations and equipment.